we throw 1/3 of what we produce away. So 1/3 of the food produced in the world goes in the bin. And the idea of the app is to enable any of us to start fighting food waste in our daily life. So we realized that all our food stores around us, like bakers, restaurants, hotels, anyone handling food today is throwing food at the end of the day because they produced more than they sold, and they can't sell this food the day after because it's fresh products. So the idea is to enable any citizens living around to go and pick up this food at the end of the day, so that the food doesn't have to go to the bin, and the store and you can get it for a really cheap price. So it's really a win-win solution where the stores don't throw their food away at the end of the day, and where any of us can like practically fight food waste and eat delicious product for a really small price.
Thank you, Elliot. First, you told us that you were an activist, a green activist. You still are, probably. Can you tell me what brings you to create 90 Days?
Hi. I have been a member of the Green Party in France for a few years because I wanted to be useful. I wanted to do something because I saw that there was a problem with the planet going on. I was there and I did some politics, traditional politics, and I did some campaigns, and then I thought, well, it's interesting, but it's never going to bring us to be a majority of people in the country fighting against climate change and fighting for more green practices. And so I left this party and I thought there is something more to do, and we can be useful, we can activate people, we can give them the means to be actors of a potential change. And that's why I created 90 Days, because I think that today it can seem very hard to do something. And you can feel very lonely in this huge fight that we are all leading together, and today I think. So it's basically being very practical, being very easy. I'm a designer, this is my job, and so I try to design how can we make people greener. And very quickly, 90 Days, it's a coach, like you have some to quit smoking or to go some sport, to go running. But it's a coach that will help you to become an ecologist, to get greener habits. And so it's only small challenges, very easy to do, that you can do immediately, one day at a time, and that helps you to first maybe stick a no ad sticker on your mailbox, and then switch your electricity provider. And I think we sent around 200 people to ENERCOP that then subscribed to ENERCOP, because we think that ENERCOP is the best electricity provider for green energy. And so we want to identify solutions that are easy to implement, and then we want to make the switch the easiest possible for everyone.
Lucie, I heard that you develop your app in many countries, so a lot of people are interested in it. Did you expect to be so fast, having that success?
I didn't really expect anything, but it's true that it went crazy fast. Today, it's more than 2 million people that downloaded the app when we launched it a little more than a year ago. So indeed, it went really fast, and also for stores, it's now several thousands of stores using the app and that don't throw away anymore at the end of the day. So I guess there was really a need for a solution, and I think the innovative part of the solution is that it's super easy and that anyone can use it in their daily life. So that's how we can make a big impact, I think. And
do you know a few of the stores that you're working with?
Yeah, I know many of them.
Yes.
Yeah, we have.
Can you
if I need, I can give big names, like for example, the bakeries Eric Kaiser. They at the end of the day, you can get a big bag of croissant and sandwich from there. It's also a lot of cool restaurants. We work as well with a lot of fruit and vegetable places.
So what does it work? I have my basket at 10:30, at 11 when it's closing.
Yeah, so basically you go on the app and you can see the partner stores around you. And then you just select one of the stores you would like to pick up the leftovers at the end of the day. and you just pay between 2 and 5 euros on the app. And then at the closing time, so it can be at 9:30 if it's a breakfast buffet, or it can be at 2 if it's like a lunch place, or it can be until midnight, basically. So you have times all day long. So you just pay the small price, and then you go there at pickup time, and you get a lot of food that would have been in the bin 10 minutes later. So.
Okay, great. Elliot, I remember when we have a small discussion that you give, for example, that one of the challenge could be to replace detergent with vinegar. You mentioned it's like a coach. Like it depends upon your ecological way of life. Please, how do you have all of that ideas?
Basically, we're just listening to people that have these great ideas, and we're just telling them. There are a lot of blogs, a lot of people inventing ways to hack our behavior, our daily behavior, and we're just trying to pick them and to take the smartest ones. The main criteria we have to choose these challenges is that it can be implemented right now. It's not something that you could eventually do in the next 6 months, like changing your windows. Of course, it's better if you have double layers of glass in your windows.
And how does it work? I go on the app and maybe have a few questions, and I also say, I'm using vinegar, so you offer me something else?
Yeah, at first you have a small survey to identify what is your level of motivation, so how far we can go with you right now. And then we
it's like being on diet.
Exactly like that. And then but it's much more fun. And then we pick one challenge that we think that you can succeed very easily, because really the goal is for you to succeed. So we are always congratulating the users, always trying to end the day with a bravo, with a félicitation, because that's the only way that it can stay fun, that we can keep people and users motivated so that they want to go further. So after you have been surveyed, then you have your first challenge, and you can succeed it very easily, and then a second one, etc., etc.
I have a question for both of you. Other users are communicate between them. The community are talking maybe of using the app and using the stores and the food that is available, and for you to challenge together. Let's say I'm beginning my challenge together. Let's bring my friend, and we all do that together. Lucie?
Yeah, actually, we didn't think about it at the beginning, but we realized that now with social medias, more and more people just talk to each other, even if they don't know each other. As soon as they share the same interest or the same passion, they really want to share. So it's a lot of users like taking pictures of what they get and posting it on their Facebook or on Twitter, Instagram. And so it really developed a community. And the great thing is that the community is the users, but it's also all the stores that are really proud about spreading the word about we don't want to throw our food anymore. So it's really nice to see these two communities creating themselves and started communicating between each other.
And you, Elliot?
There is no function inside the app so people can talk to each other, because it really was a prototype when we launched it first 2 years ago. We were going to launch a new version in early 2018 where there will be collective challenges, where for one day, everyone in the app is asked the same challenge. And so we are really going to have massive wave of people doing the same thing at the same time, and it will enable you to create social media coverage of these events that everyone will be joining.
Can you give me more example of all the challenges? Because I know fruits and vegetables, you told me something like that. How can we change our small habits? Because it's our team today.
I have to say first that my goal with 90 days is that we are not useful anymore in a soon future, maybe. So the real goal of 90 jours is that is to let you make your first step. I think that's the most difficult one. And once it's made, it can be on food, it can be on health. I have a lot of users who are young moms who really come to ecology activism through their kids. and that really want to protect them from every health issues that we are having. And everyone has a different first step, a different point of entry in transition. And so this is the most important one. And then I think everyone can find its own path and changing different habits. So we will offer you to maybe try to hold 1 week without eating meat. We can suggest to start peeing in the shower every morning. People love that challenge usually. We can also offer to try to begin showering without shower gel, but with a brick of soap so that you don't consume bottle of plastics with a lot of unhealthy products inside. Actually, there are a little amount of challenges in the app, and we are working to increase this number. But the challenge we are facing is that we have to personalize very much the path, because it depends if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're living in the town, if you're living in the countryside, if you're 15 years old, if you're 60 years old, it's not the same challenges. And so as we want everyone to succeed to the challenges that we suggest, we want to suggest only challenges that are possible for the users, so it asks lots of personalization.
And Lucie, what are the small habits that we need all to get to change, and especially on food?
Yeah, food waste is a big thing because it happens from the time where the food is produced to where it's distributed to where it's consumed. So it's a lot of things we can do. Of course, Too Good To Go is one of them, because by using the app, you can really reduce the food that is thrown away by the stores. But it's a lot of things you can do at home as well by like thinking on like what do you buy, and we talk about food waste, but waste is a big thing as well. Like we use a lot too much packaging as well. So it's many more stores now where you can use your food in batches, or where you can bring your own bags. So it's a lot of little tricks like this that we suggest to our users. For example, when you go to Too Good To Go to get some food, you can bring your Tupperware or you can bring your own bag, and that would reduce as well the environmental impact. So I think it's a great thing with 90 days, you can, yeah, in English, because yeah, it's so many little things that, because we're so many doing it, are going to have a massive impact at the end, so it really matters.
So for food would be an example to say I have to buy less, and also maybe think about my recipe before I will put everything on the garbage at the end of the week.
Yeah, I think if you have recipe, it's already a good thing, because it means you're cooking, and that can decrease waste a lot. If instead of buying like ready-made foods, you cook yourself, then you can really do a lot of things with the vegetables you buy and the fruits. Like, so every time you have leftovers in your fridge, you can do a whole recipe with it. So I think we just need to be creative and sensitive to the fact that we shouldn't throw anything away. Also remember that the dates you have on the products are really like, it's really so that you just buy another one and throw this one. So I've always eaten stuff that the date is passed since 10 days and I'm still alive. So
the expiration date is more to marketing, right? And
yeah,
also safety, maybe for the...
And taste.
Yeah.
It tastes better if you eat before the date, but it can still be eaten, well, it is what they say.
yeah.
You want to react, you have also challenges on food habits, I think, on your app. You mentioned meat, you have fruits and vegetables, you have also small advice like that?
Yes, very concrete one. We always talk about water and the long showers that we take, but if you really want to save water, you really should reduce your meat consumption, because the real problem with water in the world comes from the meat. Keep a figure in mind. The consumption of water for houses is only 7% of the total consumption, and 70% is from agriculture, and including meat. So first of all, in fact, if water matters to you, reduce your meat consumption. And then a second advice is seasonal fruits and vegetables. And so we have a challenge about displaying a poster, a calendar about seasonal fruits and vegetables, because if you eat tomatoes more than 3 months a year, then you're eating at first bad tomatoes that taste very bad, and it comes from really heated places because it's not natural. So if you are more coherent with the seasons, then it's a really huge step, and you're encouraging agricultures, good agriculture, because organic agriculture and very responsible farmers, they're respecting the seasons.
Okay. You are talking about responsible farmers. You know, all of that subjects are very interesting, and I want to share with Lucie something. You know, I'm very interested about charities, and you do a job that is to give food to the poor. Can you explain how does it work?
Yeah. Yeah, so the idea on the app was to reduce food waste, but that anyone could benefit of it. And of course, to use the app, you need a smartphone. So I think it's a lot of people with a smartphone that still have small budget and use the app to eat good products for a small price. But the idea was also to make the people that needed maybe the most able to use the products. So on the app, you can also donate. You can give €2 so that a meal will be get at the end of the day and donate to homeless person. So we organize with our team, but also with the users that want to join, some distributions with the money we get from the app. Then we go get the meals to our partner stores and distribute them to homeless persons. So the idea is really that we can make it all together, and that reducing food waste would benefit to everyone.
I have one more question also. Is it possible that I myself give to through your app and not like a store? I buy too much for, I don't know, a party, and then what about wasting?
In a perfect world, it would be.
Okay.
The problem is all the hygiene regulation. So when a person cooks for herself or something, we can't guarantee that it's been in all hygiene regulations. It's been cooked in all hygiene regulations. So you wouldn't be able to sell it on the app or even to donate it, because people wouldn't be guaranteed that they're not going to be sick with the food you made. Even so, it would probably be good for 99% of the cases, but it's currently not legal.
Okay, thank you. Elliot, you're a political designer. So what are the main challenges for the next year for you?
Oh, well, it's always a matter of scaling. It's quite easy to launch prototypes. We were quite lucky because 90 Days was downloaded few hundred thousand times, so it was a nice start. The main challenge will be to launch the second version and to meet new users and to expand, of course. And it won't be easy because we are facing an issue with finding the right business model, because it's very hard when you're handling, and I'm curious how you're doing that. When you're doing such a project with such high expectations and giving so much and being so much critical to a lot of industries, you have to be perfect and you have to be an example. And it's very hard to build a viable business model while staying an example and while staying very careful to where your money comes from. And so it was very hard to do that. And so we are going to a business model where we are mostly encouraging donations, small donations from our users. So it's kind of a pay-what-you-want fee to use the application, and developing the marketplace, because we are creating business to other organizations through the app. We are encouraging people to buy things that we think independently are really good alternatives. And so we might be able to gain a little bit from this business that we create for other organizations. So this will be the challenge for 90 days.
Okay, and for Lucie, what are your main challenges for the next year?
If I start answering your question in terms of like business model, I think we were really lucky with that, because when you reduce food waste, you actually create value. So the way we pay for the app and for the development is just to take a commission. So on the food that would be thrown away, it's actually paid for between 2 and 5 euros, but it's still money. So we take a commission on this fee and we give back all the rest to the stores, which makes a really win-win model for the store, for the user, and for us. And our main challenges, there are many. To reduce food waste, we really need as many stores as possible to join because they have the waste for now. And we also need as many users as possible to go and get this food. So the idea is how do you find the right balance to always have as many stores as possible and as many users so that the stores who join the app don't get disappointed if no one comes and get it. And on the other side, that users that have the app can actually have as many stores as possible around them because no one is going to do 30 minutes of tube to go and get the leftovers. So it really needs to be close by. So that's our permanent challenge, to grow both bases at the same time. And also, food waste is a worldwide issue. So you mentioned that we're already in 5 other countries than France. But we really want to go further and expand in Europe and also to the rest of the world. So the task is quite big still.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us today. Please visit the app and download that if you are interested. Thank you so much, Lucie. Thank you so much, Elliot.